Well, hello. Welcome to the very first video of the crazy idea that I had to learn stuff. Based on the suggestion of Belcent, actually, I have decided to start learning C# a little bit. I took the liberty to already install Microsoft Visual Studio Express 2013 with the C# module already installed on it to have the coding environment, the IDE, so to speak. And also I'm gonna assume that you know some basic stuff of it because I actually am a programmer and I have programmed before. And actually I know some stuff, so I know the basic things. Just when I'm going too fast or you just don't understand what I'm doing, I'm thinking of actually doing some Q&A where when you don't understand a part of the video that I'm actually explaining about, you just write it in the comments and you just ask me and I will explain about that maybe in the next stream, or if you write it when I'm live streaming, I will actually answer the question while I'm streaming. I'm thinking that the best thing is to actually work a little bit with the IDE at the beginning because again I know a little bit about this stuff, so I'm just gonna go start a new project. The things that you should know is that we have two basic types of applications for Visual Studio. One is Windows Form application, which is an application that you can actually show and see the windows. I'm just gonna create one to show you the difference between these two. In the first one, in the Windows application, actually, it will give me a window, a form, so to speak. And I can edit it, I can add different things, I can add buttons, I can add, for example, a list, I can add whatever I want here and edit it how I like it, and then when I run it, it will actually show me this, okay? And everything that I have added will come into this form. This uses a lot of the libraries and a lot of the namespaces that are from Windows, from .NET Framework. But we have also the other possibility to have a console application. In this, I have nothing to add. There's no possibility to add stuff to it. The only thing that will happen is when I run this program, the black command prompt will show, and I can only interact with that. That is my GUI. That's my graphical user interface. There is no graphical user interface. In the Windows application, there is a GUI which I can edit, but here it's just the command prompt. That's it. And what I can do is write from it, write in it, and read from it. The thing is that what I do know, I have read a little bit about C#, is that here this is the file where I can code in, and it will be compiled later on. It is a structural language, which means that everything has its own structure, has its own blocks. This is in no scope. This is completely outside of anything, and this using keyword that is used here means that I am going to import all of the codes, everything that is written in this namespace. What is a namespace? You can see here I have the keyword namespace and console application 2. This means that here, this block, which I can actually expand, is that this block is written in the namespace console application 2. Somewhere there is a file called system maybe, which has a namespace system in it, and in there's a lot of codes. Using system will enable me to actually access all of those codes. And different things that are imported here means that I will have access to different libraries and have access to different functions and to different types and everything that can be used in the C# application. And then we talked also about the namespace. The namespace is actually here console application 2. Oh, sorry. I'm just going to mute the Twitch that I'm showing on the other side to see. Okay, sorry. Yeah, this namespace is I can define as many namespaces as I want, and if I want to put it in one sentence what the namespace does, it's for sorting and making your codes more tidy. I can define functions, classes, types, variables, whatever, in different namespaces, just to make them a little bit more understandable or more tidy. To illustrate it, let's see here, for example, I have namespace console application 2. I can very easily just write here namespace, whatever name I want, test namespace for example, and then I can just open up and write anything I want into this namespace. And here I can actually have access to the test namespace that I just created. The using keyword is used for situations like this, that in here I have another file, for example. This is my new test file. If you don't understand what I'm doing exactly, don't worry, I'm going to go over all of these a little bit much later with more details. I'm just trying to illustrate this. I have just made another file. Here I define the namespace test new file, and here I have class test in it actually. So here I will be able to write using test new file. As you see, with this I will be able to access this class right now. I'm going to write a keyword before this. Don't worry about this, I will explain what that is about later. So right now, if I just say, here I have test class file, for example, just to differentiate the names. When I have here test class file, I am able to access the class, okay? But when I delete this line, I will not be able to access this class, because I can access this. I can access that class through defining which namespace I should look in. I say go into test new file namespace, which is defined here, new file, and when I press the dot, then I have again access to the class. Now, if you have no idea what classes, structures, types, or this kind of stuff are, these are all about object-oriented programming. This has to happen a little bit later, because first you need to know the basic concepts of the programming language. So I'm not going to focus right now on the classes and everything else. I'm just going to write my first program, which traditionally is called the Hello World program. It should be a program where just a text, Hello World, will be shown. Hang on, my cell phone is ringing. Let's see who this is. Okay, nothing important. Yeah, so I am going to delete this file so that it doesn't get too much clustered here. And I'm also going to delete whatever I have modified. So here, this is the first part. In order to learn from it, I actually went to this website. Okay, it's called Coding Grounds. Okay, it's actually a very useful website because it has both tutorials about a lot of stuff, and also it actually gives you an IDE to test without needing to install anything. So if I go into C# here, I actually have a complete IDE in which I can program, and as you can see, it's basically exactly the same like this one. And when I just run it, it will work here, and the output will be written here. But it seems that it doesn't want to work because, yeah, screw me. Oh, I need to execute it. Okay, yes, here, you see, hello world. And if I just write exactly the same line here, and I just start the program, we see we have the same results. It's actually very fantastic. And it also gives the possibility to save the project into Dropbox, GitHub, Google Drive, OneDrive, and you can also import it later and start working on it again. This is just fantastic. This website is so fantastic. I'm in love with it. Other than giving you so many different IDEs here to just mess with them, you can actually also learn programming languages. And I actually started reading this. I went into C# here and started reading about C#. And I also suggest you that if you have no idea what I'm talking about, or you have some problems, that you go check this out a little bit. And if you also leave it in the comments that you have no ideas or which parts you don't understand, I will try to, if I see that I'm going just too fast, I will go step by step with this website forward with you.